Hello student, welcome back for the course of MBA Semester 1 Management Information System. Today is our lecture number 16, 17 and 18, and the topic of our today's discussion is MIS development process. So in the last session we saw about system development life cycle and its process. Similarly, whenever we are using any kind of MIS based system in any organization, that time we have to follow some stages in the MIS development projects or MIS based software, as similar to our previous session. Okay, this time also we are concentrating on the similar activities with respect to system development life cycle. So the primary objective of our today's session is help to understand the concept of that MIS development process, and the contents of our today's session are MIS development process, major challenges in MIS implementation, factors for success and failure of MIS development. So let us have the discussion on one by one. Now this is called as MIS development process. It is just similar to our SDLC, system development life cycle. Okay, here just some nomenclature in these various steps has been changed somewhere else. Okay, so the first stage in case of any MIS based software development project would be, the first stage is called as planning for MIS. So here we are conducting some organizational planning, okay, and try to identify what things are being available to us, what which are not available. We try to make the effective comparison and analysis by means of using some particular tools and techniques. The second stage would be information system requirement. Here we try to analyze our system requirement by means of specifying the specification of the system. So everything that we tries to keep in writing and try to know about what are our future probable system requirements. So depending on your previous system or existing system, we try to analyze the varieties of aspects that are required in the information system. Next one is information system analysis and design. Here we are trying to make our system so comprehensive, okay, which will include the varieties of features and processes, so that the system can be more and more interactive by means of designing the IT architecture and other parameters, okay, so that we try to make our system more and more comprehensive. Technology for information system. Now what sort of technology and other related IT infrastructure are being required, including suppose say IT services that we are mentioning over here. System test planning and execution. Finally we try to conduct the testing of the prototype system that we will develop, and if the system gives the appropriate output, okay, and supports in decision making of the activities of any organization, then we are going to implement it by means of using its execution. And last stage would be called as system operation. Here we will commercialize the activities, whatever system which has been produced, okay, we will finally deploy that particular software based system and try to implement it so that the user can interact with that particular system. So that is called as system operations. We have to see all these stages one by one sequentially as we will discuss the system development life cycle in the previous session. The first one is called as planning for MIS. So let us have the this figure first of all, wherever we are conducting some appropriate form of planning, okay, and we are gradually conducting this activity in any organization, so that to meet some particular objective, okay, we need to conduct our planning analysis very appropriately. Now in case of that planning analysis, we are using the varieties of stages. Any sort of planning that is associated with MIS based project or any system development project, they generally involve these four stages. So here first of all we are conducting a strategic planning, okay, by means of analyzing the resources of the organization. We should have to design such a kind of system, okay, that will not only meet the requirements of the today's customer, okay, that will also meet the requirements of future probable customers also. So in a long run, what particular type of system would be more appropriate for the firm? For almost from all perspective, we need to conduct its requirement analysis. Next is resource allocation. Whatever resources has been required to meet the requirements of the future probable systems. And finally, projective planning. We need to see ahead more than or down the line after 10 years or 5 years, whether the system will perform the similar kind of operations, whether the system will require some modification after 10 years, after 5 years. So in a longer run, what type of parameters would be more and more effective? What form of databases that we are currently using, whether that will meet the requirement of tomorrow's customer? We do require more and more versatile form of system. So all these MIS based softwares has been designed to meet the future requirements specifically, and that's why we need to conduct this information system planning very thoroughly. So here first of all we are going to identify the stages of information system, how sequentially we will develop the information system. Development of any sort of system will require some sufficient form of time, and it is a gradual process wherever we need to concentrate each and every aspects and processes, and then finally after understanding the processes we need to code it into the program. Identification of the application of organizational information system. If suppose any organization they are using some previous system, say for example any payment system, whether the payment system will perform the future operations, whatever the organizations has been anticipating. So it is quite necessary to identify the things and identify its application from organizational requirements. Evaluation of each of these applications based on established evaluation criteria. Now whatever applications that we are thinking, or whatever application that we are trying to develop, we need to develop some another criteria so that we can make an assessment of that application. All software based modules are operated in some particular applications, either payment system, billing system, accounting system, and so on. And it is quite necessary that how does it will produce the desired output, and that's why it is quite necessary to require some particular criteria so that we can get only the relevant reports from that system. Here we tries to minimize the time, money and resources of the managerial staff, those who are involved in the process of decision making. Simultaneously, we need to establish the priority ranking for those applications. A system which will have various other subsystems. That's why it is quite necessary to define the priorities of this subsystem into that application. Which system will work first, and how does it will react to the targeted group of customer or any user. After that, what another system would take place and what function it would take place. Determining the optimum architecture of the information system, either IT architecture as well as management architecture. Finally, who is going to work with that information system, that is quite necessary. So here also we need to decide the priority, okay, regarding that what form of IT architecture or other management architecture that through which that it could be get operated. Along with that, we do require some another parameters. We require some effective form of communication among the users, especially the developers and as well as the managerial staff. Managerial staff narrate their experiences and all these developers and programmers decode it into program. That requires a very effective form of synchronization of information, okay, from each other, as well as people those who are belonging to the management, people those who are working on the processes, especially developers, okay, and other IT users, those who are the actual users of the system along with the developers. So it is quite necessary to understand the requirement of information whichever the managers are being looking for, or it's or their subordinates, whether they are performing some different other functions in their department. Does it meet the requirement of the system? If you are combining all the department together, you are looking for single integrated system. So whether that single integrated system possess the properties of various departments, HR department, marketing department, finance department. If you require some fully integrated information system for any organization, we need to work very thoroughly so as to develop the system. Simultaneously, we need to create the unified MIS, okay, that will cover the entire organization. Some unification in processes of information is very necessary. If the customer came in your retail outlet or shop, how does the transaction would take place? Okay, it will record each and every form of transactions, and that's why that all types of system must be more economical to use, faster and more integrated form of system, okay, so that we can reduce whatever form of complexities are supposed to be there. Okay, we need to try to reduce the complexity. So we do require a more sophisticated, simple and exhaustive form of information system, okay, and by means of conducting effective planning only it will be possible. Here, whatever system that we are expecting or manufacturing, that will operate in a very complex business environment. Even all its subsystem also, how does it will react to the different users, those who are working and on that different ends. It is quite necessary to understand the flow of information, flow of data from one person to another, from one computer to another, and how does it is going to be stored. So it is extremely necessary to understand and define the requirements of any sort of MIS. Any sort of MIS. It should be very much necessary with the changing pace of technology, the changing pace of that business environment, as well as the changing needs of customers, as well as the needs and wants of the customer. We need to react accordingly, as well as there is what competition into the market, so that they can serve this customer as better as possible. So it is quite necessary to provide the best possible solution to the targeted group of customers, and that's why we need to understand what are the changes that are going in the environment, and accordingly we need to have more and more competitive form of information system. It should utilize fast developing in IT capabilities in the best possible way. Whatever form of current IT modern resources which are available, we need to formulate that information system with the help of that modern IT infrastructural resources, so that that system would be more versatile and interactive, okay, and it will serve the larger group of customers and face the competitions also. So that's why we do require some very effective form of information system. Simultaneously, this system will save our time and cost which is associated with producing the relevant information. It does not mean that we can manufacture the information system, but we are not getting that information system at right time. Managerial staff, they don't have that much amount of time, okay, they should have to take the decision as fast as possible. Therefore, by means of using the appropriate and advanced IT based infrastructure, we need to make the use of that resources, so that we can formulate more sophisticated and advanced form of information system, not only to satisfy our today's need, but also for the future probable requirements of the organization. Simultaneously, we need to take care of several other things, those who are using that information system. Who is the actual user? What form of difficulties can be encountered for the user? Who is the manager? Those who are using that information system. Simultaneously, the stakeholders, employees, customers, suppliers. So one system can be formulated in a very integrated way almost for every type of user. Their role, function, duties, responsibilities and processes are finalized in under the planning stage, and then we are in a position to fabricate the any sort of information system. So planning is a very essential criteria. So this is the first stage, okay, in the development of MIS process, planning. While conducting a planning with respect to any MIS development project, we need to concentrate on some appropriate form of strategic decisions while MIS development project. The first one is called as our development strategy. Which type of information system that we are manufacturing, whether it should be useful at shop floor level, middle level, or any managerial level, top level. So we need to define whether it is an OAS, whether it is an TPS, MIS, or any other higher form of information system. Even the system can be even online system, real time system, or batch processing system. As soon as the data occurred, okay, the system need to grab that data in a real time processing. Say for example, share market data, it's a live data. System can capture the data very easily. Even in some system, okay, that data will be processed in terms of batches. So that is called as batch processing systems would be there. Or we can have an online data processing system. As soon as the data came, the data will be processed. A very interactive form of information system along with the information alert. Here, whenever we are talking about online systems are more and more dynamic, okay, as compared to other information system, that is more versatile as well as interactive. So definitely such kind of system would be more and more expensive as compared to other type of information system. Even we can have online real time processing system, okay, that is again a more and more complicated. Every time we should have to make sure about the backup of the data time to time. Say for example, your library information system, so daily transaction can be stored in batches, so day wise data backup would be taken. So in that case batch processing system would be more feasible. In case of e-commerce, real time online processing would be more and more effective. Even in share market based system development strategy, it is one of the very key strategic decision. What form of system would be more appropriate? Therefore, we need to select an appropriate approach for the system development. Whether the system would be an operational system that should be used at the operational level, those are working at very shop floor level, or at functional level, whether somebody is taking some key decisions, whether the information system for accounting purposes or it should be for analysis purposes. So on the basis of, in case of accounting, we are formulating profit and loss account, balance sheet and so many other things. Now when we are talking about analysis of that accounting sheet or balance sheet, that would not comes under directly the accounting system. If you want to assess the performance of the organization on the basis of any balance sheet, analysis module will be something more different as compared to your accounting system. So we do require your system development strategy, and that should be very clearly specified in the early beginning of that system development. Resources for the development. What form of resources are required? Manpower is an essential criteria. Other than that, we are producing information either internally or externally also. So we need to store that information or data, okay, and process that data again and again for decision making activities. Whether the information can be customized information or use of simply ready made packages. Nowadays in most of the cases we are using that ready made software packages. Some of the organizations, those who are not satisfied with that ready made softwares, they are asking for more customized solution, because they need to collect the data from varieties of ways as per their requirements and process that data again and again. Simultaneously we need to concentrate on our manpower requirement, finally who is using that information system. So either the system analyst or programmer, we do require some different sort of expertise to get the work done through that, to formulate that information system. So these are the very important key decisions in case of planning stage. So keeping in mind our planning stage, we need to conduct the system requirement analysis, as we will also discuss similarly in the previous case of SDLC. In case of defining the system requirement, we have to work very exhaustively by means of applying some methodology or tools to get the requirement of the system, and we need to follow some stages. If suppose there is any subsystem or any previous system that is available in your organization. So defining the underlying operational subsystem which has been supposed to be there or not. Simultaneously, okay, we need to divide it into its major activities. What are the major activities we are conducting with the existing system? Finally, on later stages, whatever subsystem or whatever system that we would have defined into its matrix, rows and columns, and what functions that we were performed under the different subsystems, like we will discuss that table in the applications of MIS, HR, finance, marketing and production. So we need to assign the responsibility to the different manager and other staff so as to execute the function of the system. Define and evaluate the information requirement for organizational subsystem. After making an appropriate assessment from the respective managers, for which we are conducting the several interviews with them, and try to grab an opportunity of what are the requirement of that information system. So we need to collect lots of information from the user and how it has been performed. So there are three methodologies that we are adopting to get the requirement of the system. The first one will be called as BSP, means business system planning. Now this methodology was developed by IBM. It is a very large multinational conglomerate company, multinational organization. This methodology will be helpful in defining the information system priorities by means of focusing on what form of data would be required so that we can fabricate the information system with the help of effective data architecture. Whatever data that we will collect from various sources, that data need to be stored in the form of database. Okay, we will call that database as a structured data into rows and columns, and that data can be stored in some database management system time to time whenever the transaction could take place. Simultaneously, okay, whatever form of data that will come after processing each and every transaction, the data will be stored in some different data classes. Say for example, suppose any kind of customers, those who are looking for any e-commerce website, so those who are the regular buyers or those who are not a regular buyer, are they belong to some elite class or consuming class, how much they will spend, their occupation, their income, different classes of data would be required and different categories of data that can be stored in the form of matrices or table. Okay, table has been made up of rows and columns, and whatever data which has been collected, okay, how does that we can use the same data to establish the relationship. Suppose we will collected sales data and advertising data with respect to any organization. So how much amount of sales has been necessary with the given amount of advertising expenditure, that can be projected, that can be analyzed. So similarly, whatever form of processes and other data requirements has been supposed to be there, we need to narrate each and everything with the help of that business system planning methodology. So planning is a very creative tool, okay, to define the information system priorities. The another kind of strategy or methodology that we will adopt while defining the system requirement, which are critical success factors. Critical success factor. This was suggested by John Rocart, okay, of MIT, MIT Business School, not in India, in US. So here, in case of that system planning, okay, here we need to define whatever form of system that we are fabricating by means of analyzing its critical success factors, so that we can define its goals and strategies. So here we need to define our business goal, whether the business goal can be achieved with the help of that critical success factors. We will consider one factor over here, say for example, durability of the system or versatility of the system, time response, several parameters that we can consider in defining the critical success factor, and that will be one of the most competitive sustainable strategy of every organization. They are looking for to provide the best possible solution to the customers. So it is necessary to define the critical success factors and how to achieve the effectiveness of these critical success factors. Suppose somebody is talking about how does that we can achieve the minimum response time, okay, that they will spend on our website within the shortest period of time. The system will provide the information alert to the user. In this way we should have to make your system more and more interactive. The another kind of methodology would be called as end means analysis. End means analysis. This methodology was developed by Warthbe and Davis at the University of Minnesota. Now, by means of using this end means analysis, we can develop the criteria. Here we determine the effectiveness criteria that is required to produce the relevant information using the whatever system that we are producing, and how to bring the efficiency, how to bring more and more effectiveness in functioning of the system, so that we can reduce the chances of errors in the existing system. Here we need to identify the input as well as output, and what exactly the report that one can get with the help of that particular information system. Finally, we need to evaluate the effectiveness of output, how much information would be worthy by means of using that information system. We need to calculate it and try to assess on several other parameters. So these three methodologies are being very essential in defining the system requirement. Once we came to know, okay, by means of using this any of the methodology that organization can adopt, okay, or even they can adopt in combination of methodologies depending on their experiences, depending on their experiments, whatever that they are conducting, one can narrate the requirement of the information system. At third stage, here we need to plan about the system analysis and design. In case of system analysis and design, we need to completely specify what system will do some particular form of operations by means of specifying its specifications as well as using some different stages that we are applied in the SDLC. Generally, any kind of system analysis and design involves some important stages. These are the important stages as we were already discussed in this system development life cycle. The first one is problem definition, just an introductory part with respect to whatever form of system has been necessary. Feasibility study, whether it is being feasible for the organization to make the huge investment or not. System analysis. Here we need to thoroughly conduct that system analysis by means of using the varieties of tools and techniques. These are the various tools. Either we can use here data flow diagrams, some other specialized kind of tools that is called as logical modeling, data modeling. These are all mathematical modeling tools. Even rapid application development by means of using some different form of software development stages, and some object oriented analysis wherever we try to assess the whatever softwares we were produce according to some defined criteria or not. Okay, so these are some quality testing benchmark would be there. Some other stages would be system design, detailed system design. Finally we are going to implement that system, and then last one is maintenance. We will discuss all these stages in the SDLC process earlier, and same process can be applied, okay, so as to conduct the system analysis and design of the complete information system. The fourth stage in case of MIS development is technology for information system. Now, what sort of technology has been more appropriate? Are we capable enough to understand the role of technology in our day-to-day activities? Here, there are different sort of resources are being supposed to be there. We do require different devices, information system peripherals, along with input output devices and networking tools. Different sort of networking tools are there. Data center system, whatever form of information system, okay, that will also possess the properties of data processing, storage, networking, management and distribution of data within an enterprise. Finally, it will be a more comprehensive form of information system, and all detailed functions are specified, okay, wherever we do require to access the data from any department and store it back to that respective department, that can be possible. Or whether we would require more advanced form of information system, which is more online real time form of information system. So this system can be either on the basis of any ERP based system, enterprise resource planning system. SCM means supply chain management system, like many retailers are using this system, retail shopping malls and other houses are using this information system. Human resource management system, okay. So what sort of system that will fulfill the requirement of your organization? That should vary from organization to organization as well as from their system requirement. So we need to define its technology, which particular form of technology would be more appropriate for any project. So we need to specify this technology in advance. The next other form of resources would be IT services, okay. Along with that IT services, we would require some other form of services which will be helpful in measuring the quality of information by means of using total quality management, some particular kind of statistical tools that is called as Six Sigma tools, okay. So there are some other advanced tools are being there, and other quality benchmark has been there. So we need to make the use of these various types of parameters in our day-to-day activities while formulating the technologies. As well as we need to concentrate on our what form of telecom services, telecommunication network and other related services that we require. Internet is a very essential criteria nowadays. Other than that, there are various other networking tools are there. okay, that are being available into the market. So we need to try to use these tools and technologies and made available to fabricate any sort of information system. The fifth stage would be what? System test planning and execution. Finally, we will fabricate the system and develop the prototype. Here, whatever system that we were formulated, we need to check that whether the system would be introduced to perform some operations or not, for which testing would be very necessary. We need to carry that testing either on the field, okay, either in that particular offices, okay, wherever the transaction could take place. Here we are not expecting that the system would give some particular form of errors. We need to fabricate the system, okay, so that we could not get the errors. It should be bug free or error free system, and for which we need to conduct the system testing. For system testing, we need to specify these stages, purpose of the system, definitions, test inputs, what form of parameters has been used to provide the input to the system, okay, detailed specification of the test procedure, and what will be the output of that test procedure. We need to conduct that thing very thoroughly and exhaustively. Once we conduct that system stages, and then finally we need to go for its final implementation of the system. Now whenever we are conducting that system planning, okay, or test system planning, that time we should have to check each and every subsystem as well as its components, are they working properly, or they will provide an appropriate output. So we will get some relevant feedback from the respective user, and later on we will make some little bit modification into the existing system, and then finally we are going to execute that information system in the department by means of using its implementation. Next one is called as what? System operation. This would be the last stage in this MIS development process. So finally our prototype has been ready with the help of its testing, okay. So now we are going to implement that information system. So here, prior to its implementation, okay, we need to again take care of varieties of things, okay, whenever we are going to implement, and simultaneously effective planning and control is very necessary, so that we can ensure the data security, backup and recovery of the data. Simultaneously we can control the operations on that particular system, so there will be appropriate user login and admin login would be there. Testing of the system will ensure, okay, the whatever work report has been produced, it must be bug free, okay, and meet all the expectations of the users. Whatever form of hardware and software, okay, that they will deliver their operations or perform their operations accordingly once the instruction has been given to that particular system. Now whenever we are going to finally implement that information system, we should have to check from almost from all the angles. We need to define the system capacity and how much would be the response time, so that it will produce that report within the minimum period of time. Also we could be very much sure about what kind of things which can be documented, okay. We need to provide some information how to operate that machine, how to operate that information system priorly. Say for example, the user guide for any inexperienced user, a user reference, or any operational manual for any advanced users, or any kind of reference manual, okay, that will define the complete system structure and architecture and how does its operation would takes place. Particularly this will helpful to other developers, those who are working on that existing system. So all these charts, figures, graph, diagrams need to be provided to the other users, those who are working in the R&D department specifically. And we need to check each and every operations whether the operations has been conducted very thoroughly or not, okay, so that we can improve the working life of the system, and by means of which we can remove any kind of difficulties, glitches or problems that is associated with the development of the MIS project. If we require any sort of minor modifications in the existing system, we can make it and then we will implement that one. Now, after we came to know that MIS development process or system development life cycle, we need to understand, okay, what are the challenges in that MIS implementation. We already came to know that handling the information, it is not an easier task. Nowadays data is coming not only in bytes, megabytes, okay, nowadays gigabytes, okay, terabyte data. So such a huge amount of data could not be handled by due to limited operations of the existing system, and that's why we do require more and more advanced and versatile form of information system. Particularly most of the organizations are working on that. So it is quite necessary to define the quantity, content and context of information. How much quantity the data is coming, whether the data, that quantity of data can be processed by that existing system or not. That is one of the major challenge. And how much the information and exactly what should it describe, what will be there in that information, and how to process that information is it is very critical to understand. Nowadays we will develop the various kinds of tools with the help of data analytics as well as data science, and on which we are working. Nature and analysis of the presentation. How effective is your system, for which we need to define its comprehensiveness of the system. In a very detailed form of information need to be provided very comprehensively. Similarly, availability of information. How frequently the data can come, the speed of the data, okay, how fast the data is coming into our server. Other form of contemporariness. There are some lots of data, okay, which could not be useful in our day-to-day transactions, but to analyze the behavior of the customer, sometimes we try to work on some contemporaneous of the data, on demand data, routine data, periodic, occasional, one time information, repetitive in nature. Such kind of information system would be there. So it is quite necessary to ensure how the data could be made available, and we need to think on some other information, accuracy of information, how accurate the data would come, okay, depending on that we can generate more and more reliable result. Simultaneously we need to think on our data security and authentication of the system. Here we need to authenticate the transactions time to time, okay. So these are the major challenges, and it is quite difficult to implement any sort of MIS based project for any organization, for which we do require more and more dedicated staff, for which we need to train them very effectively, by means of arranging training activities and as well as organizational support. Management support is very essential. So let us have some mm, various factors, okay, that will be gives rise to the success and failure of the MIS development project. The first one would be called as top management support. It is one of the key ingredient. Once the top management has been supportive by means of making the resources available within the organization, then and then only the employees could be get motivated and they would work on the development of the such a MIS based project. Because working on such a complicated information system, it is not an easier task. It requires several types of inputs. Here all these processes are very integrated processes and that's require, okay, integrated development. Whatever person, those who are belonging to the organization, either it is a shop floor person, manager or any other employee, he must also know whatever the processes that we are ensuring in through MIS. Once the MIS has been going to be implemented in any organization, we must have a very good form of operational prototype. Whatever machine that you will produce, it must be bring into practice. It must be make use in our day-to-day activities. Otherwise, it would be just a simple computer, remember. Okay. We would also require some different form of interpersonal skills among specifically the staff, those who are associated with the MIS, because they are clarifying the things to the other users. If suppose there is a difficulty, then in that case any persons, those who are working on that system, they will not get acquainted with the use of MIS. Now these systems are complex system. One should have to try to make the system more and more simple so that one can understand it and by means of reducing the complexity. We need to have a very effective form of response rate so that system can navigate the things very appropriately and respond to the user within the time frame and can achieve the objective or goal within the time limit only. So effective response rate has been very necessary. Finally, we need to arrange some sort of training and development activities for almost for all users, those who are associated with the MIS, those who are handling any kind of data and other activities on MIS based system. Either they are involved in any kind of activities, say for example reporting, budgeting, controlling, planning, monitoring. A very good knowledge of MIS would be very necessary and that can be provided with the help of only training. Finally, effective planning and controlling. There will be the admin user. Time to time they will instruct the subordinates and other related staff so as to provide the relevant information and that information can be processed further, and whatever information has been provided, okay, after processing that information, that processed information will be useful for our planning and decision making activities in future probable ways. So in this way we should have to define its success and failure. If we are capable enough to handle the any kind of MIS based project, then it would be very well for any organization. If the organization are being not supporting in these ways, then whatever MIS based project would be there, it is just a data processing machine, otherwise just a computer, otherwise it should be of none of use. So that's all about our today's session. Thank you very much.